What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for April 26th, 2021. This week, Star Citizen 3.13 did go live. We also had a roadmap update and the most ridiculous video Star Citizen has ever posted. Let's check it out. So if this is your first week in review, it's where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, pile it into one video, and throw my opinions on what's going on as well. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff, as it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, I do live stream on Twitch. Make sure you check me out at twitch.tv/SaltEMike. Now let's jump into the patch updates. I'm not going to go over the patch notes like we normally would because we've kind of been going over them for weeks now. It's April 26th and Star Citizen 3.13 went live a few days ago. We've been talking about what is in the patch for a while. It's just been them getting bugs fixed. So if you haven't yet, there is a thread here that has all of the feedback threads for Star Citizen 3.13. This is where you give your feedback. There's also a new issue council that is meant to make feedback on bugs a lot simpler for the future of the game. Hopefully that works out. And lastly, a referral bonus. So if you sign up a friend, you and your friend get an Aurora ES, and they have to spend a minimum of $40 to count as a referral. So I would recommend your friends to get anything other than an Aurora since they're getting one for free. So make sure you do that. Moving on to roadmap updates, a pretty slow week for some progress tracker additions. They add AI, sleeping, and hygiene. But as always, we're not going to see that update in Star Citizen Live because the servers are so poor right now. So until we get those server updates, AI updates are not that interesting. We are seeing the Boreal Stalker end up on the roadmap. This is the Yeti we saw on ISC, and yeah, we'll see when that thing actually becomes a reality, but all we've seen is concept art so far. Next, a third-person camera for vehicles. Vehicle experience team, by the way. Cameras being prioritized cannot be serious at this point, but it is. I don't understand. They talk about this thing is a priority over that thing, so why are we prioritizing a third-person camera in a first-person game? Is beyond me. You can try and leave a comment below and try to help me understand this one, but I'm probably not going to listen because there's a lot of issues with the vehicle experience, and we're prioritizing a third-person camera. Maybe one day it's a priority. I just don't understand how that could be the priority today. Security service was renamed to the NPC tracker. The Nick system tasks are now just being bundled into one because until we leave this star system in Stanton, I don't think there's really a point in really going into detail on what's going on in other star systems. Progress tracker subtractions now. There was the option screen rework that is being, rescheduled basically. And when that's done, I think you'll probably... When the option screens are being reworked, it most likely means that things like Squadron 42 are progressing quite far along, and they're cleaning up the last little bits before they're ready to push something to live. And no surprise, we're not there yet. The RSI Polaris, the Anvil F8, and the two F7As are being brought into the gold standard at some point, but again, these are all being removed from the roadmap and will be re-added after a scheduling meeting sometime in the future. Now for video updates, we had an Inside Star Citizen that started out with a feature on the new team from Montreal. Now I thought they were just going to be basically working on the visual aspects of locations, but they're going to be doing more than that.
And by that we mean not only locations or not only design, like to have an integrated team that can work alongside the other teams at CIG and collaborate, but eventually be able to say, okay, let's do this star system and really develop it as much as possible, including gameplay, including a lot of things.
They're actually focused on doing gameplay at these locations, which is really exciting. So more on that in this clip here.
So in order for the team to reach or graduate to being able to make full star systems, obviously this doesn't happen overnight. The team needs some real projects that they can deliver to players that they can play, right? We know of a couple things that are in Stanton that would add gameplay value, right? So we know that we're adding rooftop gameplay, hospital locations, which is brand new as well, and leveraging procedural tools to make a lot of variations to all of those.
So they're working right now on making rooftop gameplay. Not exactly sure what that entails just yet, but the focus on landing zones having more life is really important. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the implementation of this looks like in game rather than them just talking about it. I mean, we've heard about rooftop gameplay previously, and we still don't know too much about it yet, and it really doesn't matter until it's on your SSD and you're playing with it, right? So very much looking forward to seeing what the result of this work ends up looking like. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Then we had a sprint report. They started out with making sure that we can see vehicle thrusters at a distance. This is actually really awesome. I think the resolution of the problem looks really good. It's going to make things look more alive when we have NPCs flying in and out of landing zones and space stations, things like that. But where I really find it useful is PvE and PvP scenarios where somebody may be flying a stealthy ship, somebody may have fired chaff, but you can't target them, but you can track them via these visuals that they're working on right now. Very cool. Really excited for this update. Next was pyro plants, more harvestables that have little value and probably super hard to find. I've spent a lot of time looking for these harvestables on like Hurston and stuff, like the circuit board as well as the new algae, and not finding anything. So not too excited about these. Maybe once pyro comes, harvestables will have more of an impact on the game, but currently, for me, they don't. Homesteads. Beds, rugs, lamps, pottery, wow. Homesteads are starting to just lose their luster at this point because there's always a homestead update, and in general, they are kind of saying that these are not going to come until we have pyro. So until they're showing me that they're capable of delivering us pyro, these homesteads don't really do anything for me. Next was the gold standard Aegis Saber. We saw this with the Gladius coming into 3.13. Looks really nice. Excited to see what additional things the Saber will provide, like a weapon rack or maybe a location for a delivery box, something like that, like we see on the Gladius. The Starlifter is getting inventory storage areas, and this is important for the local inventory system that has been talked on Calling All Devs and other official Star Citizen outlets. They're also showing the visuals for the internal section of the A2 for the cluster bomb. Pretty cool. And lastly, a Redeemer visual update from the exterior. Looking pretty cool as well. Then we had a Star Citizen Live, which was one of those game dev Star Citizen Lives. So there was really only one clip worth sharing, and it's on the future of the underground facilities and what they refer to as UGFs.
The plan in the future, of course, is to revisit and really quite expand them and turn them into their proper thing. They're a bit lackluster at the moment. They have a few years on them. They need a bit of polish, a bit of makeup, and they need some parts actually need to be completely redone. So there will be one of the components that we'll be looking at in the future at some point will be a complete rework of the UGFs and really put them out with a proper amount of content, not just a hub and 3 rooms, right? Because that's underwhelming.
The UGFs did get a new addition in 3.13 though. Nobody's discovered them yet.
I like that they're aware that these are underwhelming. And like most things in the game, they're going to require a lot more work to be more enjoyable. And I'm also sure somebody's probably already found the thing that Lando's referring to. I haven't yet, but I'm curious what it is. If you know what it is, leave a comment down below. What is Star Citizen video? This may have been the biggest joke I've ever seen. The expectations being set here versus the reality of the game are so insane, I'm not sure I can even deal with it. This company makes money. Their job is to make money to continue the development of Star Citizen. Sell your skins, sell your ships. I'm okay with that. But this feels like a direct attempt to get into the YouTube algorithm with which YouTubers like Board Gamer and Morphologist and others are doing better than the actual Star Citizen company at, kind of grasping, and shift the narrative to the trailers that they have and the way they want to portray the game, which is not realistic. at all, and in my opinion, is borderline false advertising. So I think that, you know, it's my feelings that they're just trying to take over the YouTube algorithm with the title and some of the things that they're doing here. It's smart on their part, but in my opinion, anyone that looks at the trailer that would want to play this game, I want to play the game that they're showing in that trailer, but I don't want to play 313 very much because it's not fun. And I think if they jumped into the game after seeing that trailer, they might feel cheated. And honestly, at the end, they show currently in open alpha for like 2 seconds. So they're not really showing the actual state of the game. They're showing this extremely exaggerated state of what the game is in. They even showed like somebody bartering a weapon with an NPC. Like that's not possible, right? So moving on to other updates before I get really upset, there is a Grey Rock DS is now for sale now that the patch is live. It's $70. They're also selling vehicle skins with a concept armor that will be ready this summer. Yes, I said concept armor. We're past concept ships. It's now concept armor. There was a Rock DS Q&A because a lot of people don't think that this vehicle makes any sense. It still doesn't after the Q&A. The main thing that they think matters is inventory space, and that doing longer mining runs with this vehicle will make it more viable, and that they have a fix to work around the emptying of your vehicle the way it works right now. But in reality, if you can't empty your vehicle out of your inventory, then what's the point of... I don't get it. What's the point of multi-crew gameplay? What's the point of having a cargo vehicle that would move your mining stuff and have like a large-scale mining operation with multiple people? I don't get it. The driver can concentrate while the miner can scan is another thing that they think makes this vehicle more viable. Like for me, how can you design some stuff like this without... It feels like they spent 10 minutes flying around in a rock, teleporting to rock locations, and not playing the actual game. Where are you driving this thing and mining at the same time? Nobody ever does that. The only thing that makes sense is that the Rock DS has a much less constrained mining head, so it can move up, down, left, right, like a lot more. So in places like caves and things like that, it's going to be much more viable. And even at larger clusters of rocks on moons, it makes it a lot easier. You don't really have to move the vehicle around. But again, you don't have to move the vehicle around because of the laser being super maneuverable. Then there were paints. I personally like paint sales. I think this is the type of monetization I would like to see more in Star Citizen. I hope when they have more time and less back-end type work from Turbulent, they can do a lot more 300 series type cosmetic sales. But for right now, we got Nomad paints, $4 for each paint, 3 paints for 10, all 4 for 20. Star Runner, $7.50 paints, 3 of the new ones for $18, and all of the paints for 30. And that'll do it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes coming to my content in the future. Things in real life are really affecting my content, so I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me over the years. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next week.